I complained about my annoying coworker in what I thought was an anonymous employee survey. HR forwarded my exact words to him for constructive feedback purposes. He printed them out and hung them on his cubicle wall. We've been married for 2 years now. The survey was supposed to be anonymous. Share your honest thoughts about workplace culture and colleague collaboration. I had thoughts, lots of them. Most of them were about Jake and accounting. One colleague consistently derails meetings with irrelevant tangents about his fantasy football team. That was Jake. One colleague heats fish in the microwave at least twice a week. Jake. One colleague has an inexplicable collection of Funko Pops that stare at me during video calls. Jake's shelf was directly behind him. The eyes followed you. One colleague laughs at his own jokes before finishing them, which makes it impossible to know when to react. Jake's laugh was distinctive and premature. I wrote 3 pages. Detailed, specific, cathartic. The survey said anonymous. I believe the survey. 2 weeks later, Jake walked up to my desk holding a stack of papers. Did you know I derail meetings with fantasy football tangents? My soul left my body. What? He held up the papers. My words, printed out, highlighted. HR sent me anonymous feedback for professional development, but there's only one person who sits close enough to see my Funko Pops during video calls. I wanted to die. Actually die. Dissolve into the carpet and become one with the floor. I am so sorry. It was supposed to be anonymous. I never would have. He started laughing. Not his usual premature laugh, a real one. The fish thing is fair. I'll stop microwaving salmon. What? And the fantasy football tangents. You're right. Nobody cares about my running back situation. I stared at him. You're not mad? I'm impressed. This is the most honest feedback I've ever received. He pointed to one section. You called my laugh a hyena that lost a bet. That's poetry. He walked back to his desk. I thought the nightmare was over. Then he printed my entire complaint, hung it on his cubicle wall, added a header. Things people think but won't say to my face. Coworkers gathered, read it, started laughing. Wait, you really think his Funko Pops stare at you? One asked. They do. The Batman one especially. Jake nodded solemnly. Batman sees all. Something shifted that day. We started actually talking. He moved the fish to Fridays only, kept the fantasy football tangents but made them shorter. The Funko Pops stayed, but he turned Batman to face the wall. Better? He asked. Marginally. He grinned. I'll take marginally. We started eating lunch together, comparing notes on terrible workplace surveys, laughing about HR's idea of anonymous. For what it's worth, he said one day, I filled out a survey about you too. What did you say? That you're intimidating, too competent, make everyone else look bad. That's a complaint? HR sent it to you, right? They had not. Apparently some complaints went through, others vanished. The system was chaos. I also wrote that you have a nice smile, he admitted, but I deleted that part. I felt my face go red. You should have left it in. Noted for next year's survey. He asked me to dinner that weekend. I said yes. Our first date, he brought printed copies of the original complaint. I'm going to address these one by one. By the end of the night, you'll have 0 concerns about my character. He addressed none of them. We talked about everything else instead. 3 dates later, he kissed me in the parking lot. Still think my laugh is like a hyena that lost a bet? Absolutely. But I've grown to like hyenas. We got engaged a year later. Married 6 months after that. His vows included direct quotes from my survey. You said I derail meetings. Now I'm derailing your entire life. For better or worse. I laughed so hard I cried. HR still claims the surveys are anonymous. Nobody believes them anymore. But I can't really complain. The worst workplace survey of my life led to the best relationship. Jake still has the original printout. Framed now. Hanging in our living room. Things people think but won't say to my face. Right next to our wedding photo. Some love stories start with romance. Ours started with brutal honesty and microwaved fish. I wouldn't have it any other way.